Hello students. Today we'll talk about third application of Gauss's law. Again we'll find out electric field using Gauss's law. This time we have surface charge distribution but on spherical surface, unlike our last topic where we found out electric field due to surface charge distribution on plane infinite surface. So let us start. For today's topic, we need to know the following things. First of all, we should be knowing that the flux is mathematical representation of electric field lines passing perpendicularly through the area which we have considered. And if we want to find out flux, we can take scalar product, dot product of electric field and area. For non-uniform electric field or for uneven surface, we can use integration. We can take integration E dot dA. If we have closed surface, we can take closed integration of electric field over surface area, or we can use Gauss's law, which says that flux linked with closed surface is ratio of charges enclosed to permittivity of vacuum. And we also know that flux is scalar quantity, and we know two units of flux, Newton meter square per coulomb and voltmeter. And I would like you to recall the definition of surface charge density. Sigma is Q by A, or charge per unit area. And I would like you to recall once again that E here, E in this formula is electric field due to all the charges present, maybe inside or outside the Gaussian surface. But if you take sigma q by epsilon 0, the sigma q is only those charges which are it is summation of only those charges which are inside the Gaussian surface. So while using this formula, keep that in mind, that charges outside the Gaussian surface are of no use to find out flux with this formula. So I am sure you are clear with all the points, and then we are eligible to start with the today's topic. So let us start. So today we have uniform charge distribution on spherical surface. This is again surface charge distribution, means charge is only on the surface of the sphere. We have considered sphere of radius r, capital R, and we have uniform surface charge density. We will consider the charge density to be sigma later on. And we want to find out electric field of this charge distribution, spherical charge distribution, which may also be regarded as spherical shell, charge spherical shell. Shell is hollow sphere. So we want to find out electric field due to charge shell. But where? Now you have two possibilities. Your point of interest may be somewhere inside the shell, say distance r from the center. So here small r is less than capital R, or sometime we may need to find out electric field due to charge shell at some point outside the shell. So we'll have two cases here. We'll deal with the two one by one. First we'll consider point inside the shell. We'll find out electric field at any point inside the shell, and then we will find out how much is the electric field if we are outside the shell. Okay, so let us start. So here we have a uniformly charged shell, and as I mentioned earlier, shell means hollow sphere. Charge is only on the surface, not inside. We assume that the radius of this shell is r, capital R, and we want to find out electric field at some point which is at r distance from the center. Okay, this is where we want to find out electric field, and we want to find out electric field using Gauss's law. So what Gauss's law demands? If you want to use Gauss's law, you should have Gaussian surface. And if you want to use Gaussian surface, three things you must mention about the Gaussian surface. Which are the three things? Which shape of Gaussian surface you are choosing? what size of Gaussian surface you are taking and where you will place your Gaussian surface. Okay, so whenever you have Gaussian surface, don't forget to mention any of the three. So for now, I will consider spherical Gaussian surface of radius r. Why of radius r? Because I'll place it here and then Gaussian surface will pass through the point of interest where we want to find out electric field. So what is my statement for Gaussian surface? Consider a spherical Gaussian surface of radius r. So two things I have mentioned. Which two things? Shape of my Gaussian surface and dimensions, size. But where to place Gaussian surface? So place the Gaussian surface or imagine the Gaussian surface in such a way that center of the Gaussian surface coincides with the shell. Okay, so all the three things I have mentioned, and now this is the condition. Red one is Gaussian surface and the dark gray or black one is the shell. And this is the point where we want to find out electric field. So let us see how to find out. So we will apply Gauss's law, which says that flux linked with closed surface is closed integration E dot dA is equal to sigma q by epsilon 0. And now I think we are familiar with the process that first we find out left side. E being constant, you can take it out, and closed integration dA. What is this dA? It is small part of Gaussian surface, and integration dA will give you area of Gaussian surface, right? And what is sigma q? Charge enclosed by Gaussian surface. So find out the two for given situation, substitute, simplify. That is the procedure. We will follow it today also. So what is closed integration EDA for our case? So we know that dA, as I just now mentioned, that it is area. Integration dA will give you area of Gaussian surface. And what is the shape of Gaussian surface? Sphere. And so what should be the area of sphere? 4 pi r square. So it is 4 pi small r square. Why small r? Why small r? Small r because you are talking about Gaussian surface. Don't get confused. This is very vulnerable point. You are likely to make blunder here. So be very much careful. Left side when you are, it is Gaussian surface you are talking about, so consider dimensions of Gaussian surface. Okay, here radius of Gaussian surface is small r, so area should be 4 pi small r square. What is left now? Sigma q. Find out sigma q. Again, what is sigma q? It is charges enclosed by Gaussian surface. Now look at the situation and tell me, is there any charge inside? Is there any charge inside the Gaussian surface? No. Charges are only outside. No charge is enclosed by Gaussian surface. And then what should be the sigma q? It has to be 0. Okay, so sigma q is 0, and equation 2 gets us left side. Now use 2 and 3 in 1. What you will have? So we realize that E into 4 pi r square is equal to 0 means electric field inside is 0. So if you are inside the shell, you will not experience any electric field. So what if I have some charge here plus q? Suppose I have placed plus q charge here. Where it will go? Would it be repelled? Would it be attracted? Where it will go? It will not go anywhere. Why? Because we know that force F is equal to Q into E. From where we got this formula? E is equal to F by Q. Electric field is force per unit charge, so force is QE. And how much is the electric field inside? 0. So how much is the force? 0. The charge will remain wherever you place. It will not go anywhere because there is no electric field inside the shell. Okay, so don't forget that. Let us move to second part. What if our point is outside the shell? So again we have charged spherical shell. Charge is on the surface, and let the surface charge density be sigma, and we consider the radius to be capital R, And now we want to find out electric field at this point. This is where we want to find out electric field. But where is the point? So from center, the point is at r distance. Okay. So again, the standard steps. Imagine a Gaussian surface. So how many things I'll have to mention? 3 things. Which shape, which size, and where. So I imagine a spherical Gaussian surface. Shape I have mentioned. Which size? Of radius r. Where to place? In such a way that center of Gaussian surface coincides with the center of shell. Okay, so imagine a Gaussian surface of radius r and place it in such a way that its center coincides with the center of shell. So this is the situation. We will find out electric field at this point using Gauss's law. So let us try to understand the derivation part. So again we will apply Gauss's law, and again the same format, same procedure. Find out integration dA, that is area of Gaussian surface. What is the area of Gaussian surface? Red one is Gaussian surface, so spherical shape will give us formula 4 pi r square. Which r? Small r or capital R? So as we are talking about Gaussian surface, it should be 4 pi small r square. So here we have E into 4 pi r square left side. So we have got this. What is left now? Sigma q. What is the charge enclosed by this Gaussian surface? This is the Gaussian surface, and so whatever is the charge on shell, that is the charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. Now again I would like you to remind that sigma is q by a. You have two options actually here. You can take sigma q to be capital Q, total charge, or else you can take sigma q to be sigma into a. So right now we go with the second option, and we'll consider sigma q to be surface charge density into area. Now which area this is? This is the area where you have your charge. Where you have your charge? We have charge on spherical shell, and so we'll consider area of spherical shell, and hence we have capital R here. Be extremely careful. In second formula we are talking about surface which is imaginary Gaussian surface, and here we are talking about the surface on which we have charge. So don't get confused between the two. So now we have our left side, we have right side of equation 1. We can substitute and simplify for electric field. Let us see the simplification part. So here we have equation 1, equation 2 and equation 3. Sorry, 5, because 3 we had in first part. So we'll use 2 and 5 in 1. What do we have then? So 4 pi r square E into 4 pi r square sigma into 4 pi r square. Both r are not same, they are different. Left side you have Gaussian surface, right side the surface on which you have your charge distributed. Simplify, and this is what we get. Okay. And again, if I use my sigma formula, what is sigma formula? Sigma is q by a. What is a? What is a? Area of the surface. So right now my surface is spherical, and so I have 4 pi capital R square. Okay, so if I take sigma as q by 4 pi r square, or sigma into 4 pi r square as q, what do we have then? See, only this sigma is replaced. This sigma is replaced with q by a. So this is q by a, remaining part as it was, and then r square cut, and this is what we have. Don't you think this formula is familiar? We are familiar with the formula. This is very similar to formula of point charge kq by r square. It means that this shell is behaving like point charge only when you are finding out electric field at some point outside. Okay, so that is the electric field of shell at some point outside. And what is the electric field inside? 0. So before concluding, we'll compare the two. So this is the situation in which we have the point inside the Gaussian surface, and this is the situation where our point where we are finding out electric field is outside. Okay, so let us compare. For the point inside, this is how we give left side E into 4 pi r square, and electric field is 0 because charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface is 0. Okay, so electric field is 0. Now I want you to see the steps keenly so that you can derive it by yourself without any problem. See, first step is same because Gaussian surface is having radius r only. Okay, so E into 4 pi r square. And look at this step. This is where difference comes. When your point is outside, this is the Gaussian surface, and you have now charges enclosed, which can be given as sigma A or sigma into 4 pi r square. Substitute, simplify, and this is what we get, kq by r square. So equation 4 and equation 6 give us electric field due to charged spherical shell inside as well as outside. So that was the topic. Let us conclude now. So now we can say that electric field at given point due to uniform surface charge distribution on spherical surface at some point inside the surface is 0. Why 0? Because when your Gaussian surface is inside the shell, there is no charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface, and so sigma q is 0, so electric field inside is 0. And hence if you place any charge inside the shell, it will not experience any force, it will remain wherever it is. What if the point of concentration is outside the surface? Then electric field outside can be given as sigma r square by epsilon 0 r square. What is capital R? What is capital R? Radius of the shell. What is small r? Radius of Gaussian surface. And sigma, if you replace with q by A or q by 4 pi r square, this is what we get, which is similar to formula for point charge. So here sigma is surface charge density, r is the radius of the spherical surface, and small r is the distance of the point from center of the shell. So the above equation indicates that for any point outside the shell, the spherical charge distribution behaves very similar to that of point charge, and the variation of electric field from center of the shell, if we try to plot, it can be given as, now see, as we go from center to the surface, how much is the electric field inside? 0. So as you go from center to surface, electric field remains 0. Where we are? We are on the surface. So distance is equal to radius. Capital R is the radius. What will happen as we go away now? As I go away now, electric field reduces as 1 by r square. So you go away and look at the electric field, it is going down. And why this? Because E is proportional to 1 by r square. So this is how electric field varies with distance from the center, and that was the topic. I hope you understood it. Thank you. See you later.